of people are just now pretending that Birkins are made in China because this guy from a factory that also makes replicas is claiming that that's what he does. He makes the, like, oh, he didn't even really say that, but I think that's what people are assuming, right?
Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jess. So there's a huge claim online, you guys have seen, it's blowing up. 80% of luxury bags are made in China. And I want to share with you guys my opinion today on this topic because obviously it has really, well, shaken up the luxury community. I've been getting a lot of comments saying that all my bags are made in China and that, you know, why would you even bother anymore with luxury knowing that it's all made in China? And I actually did know that a lot of things, like luxury brands, manufacture their goods in China. It's actually not really a secret. And even some brands will put on the label, made in China. For example, I know that Burberry do have outlets, so does Coach, so does Prada, and there are certain pieces, and even Armani, that say made in China. But that doesn't mean that everything that they manufacture is made in China. They also have factories in Italy. In Burberry's case, they have a factory in England. And, Burberry themselves have shown inside their factory in Castleford where they manufacture their very famous trench coats. Now, not all Burberry trench coats are made in England. There are some that are supposedly made in Italy, and of course they have their outlet lines as well. So I would say with a lot of these brands, if they're a huge brand that has outlets and they make a huge amount of product, it is possible they have factories like in many locations all over the world. And yeah, this is a classic Burberry trench coat. It says made in England, and yeah, from what I believe, like Burberry does show inside their factory in Castleford, and they show how they make the classic trench coat. Now, there is a claim that 80% of luxury bags are produced in China, and the final logos and tags and labels are installed in, Italy or France to, trick people into thinking that the whole bag was made in France or Italy, but actually most of it was made in China. Now, this might be true. I don't know. I don't know if I fully believe it. I mean, I actually don't know because none of us will really know unless we worked in these factories and saw it with our own eyes. This is a claim that is being made by these factories that actually also produce replica bags as well, which I would say you have to take their claims with a pinch of salt because they can be very pushy. Every day in my email I get replica factories contacting me and saying they can send me bags. In my comment section, just wait a few minutes, guys. There'll be multiple replica companies spamming my videos. So they can be very pushy, and they obviously are trying to sell to you that they make the best top quality bags, and why buy the real thing when you can get it straight from the source and it's the same material and la la la. And there was one guy, this main factory owner, who was saying that he makes Birkins and Kellys and insinuating that he makes them for Hermes, and Hermes get them from his factory and then they bring them to France and they stamp on the bag, Hermes made in France. And I honestly don't think that is true, you guys. There is a lot of evidence that Hermes do make their bags in France. And for example, a few years ago, I used to follow a lady called Picard, and she actually interviewed a Hermes artisan, and she shared her experience crafting the bags and how all the different artisans had their own special stamp. And this is the way that Hermes can authenticate bags because they're all unique. Every Hermes Birkin and Kelly is actually crafted by one artisan in France, in their factories in France. And actually, it takes one artisan about 5 years training before they actually go ahead and start making the Birkins and Kellys. So Hermes is one of the brands that I do trust that they do really invest into their workers, and they wouldn't, I don't think they would be a brand who would manufacture in China, particularly their bags. Now, whether they get other materials from China, I'm not too sure. It is said that they
they don't really. I think most of their things they get from France. Maybe the leathers. I know that they get crocodile from Australia. I know that as a fact because Australia has a lot of crocodile farms. So it's possible they get things from all over the world. But I know that in terms of them making the actual handbags, they do make them in France. So I'm not sure why everyone is, oh, not everybody. A lot of people are just now pretending that Birkins are made in China because this guy from a factory that also makes replicas is claiming that that's what he does. He makes the, like, well, he didn't even really say that, but I think that's what people were assuming, right? And is it true that replicas and authentic bags are made in the same factory? Is that the case? That maybe, one, I don't know, let's say a Louis Vuitton bag that is made in the replica factory then doesn't have the finishing logo on it, and you can buy it from the supplier, and then the rest are shipped to USA or France, and then they stick the made in France. Like, I just don't know if that, I honestly don't know if that's the case, you guys. Like, I have speculated that maybe fakes and real thing are made in the same factory, or perhaps, people who have worked at these luxury brands previously maybe then go to the fake factories and then make the bag. But we really wouldn't know for sure, you guys. Like, I don't know if we can really say that as a fact yet. But all I know is that I honestly don't think that Hermes make their bags in China, you guys. So that's how I feel about it. And it took me a while to make a video about it because I do know that a lot of, most things are made in China. And there's actually, like, as a lot of people have said, there's nothing wrong with made in China because, they have the state-of-the-art technology, they have very skilled craftsmen, and you can get really good, well-made things from China. There's no doubt about that. But when it comes to a luxury bag, people aren't buying luxury bags necessarily even to show off. A lot of people buy luxury bags because they like to collect them, they have a passion for them, and they see value in them. Now, put simply, if you have if you have two Pokemon cards, let's just say, they're both just made out of cardboard, okay? No superior materials here. They're made out of cardboard. You have one that is a replica, and you have one Pokemon card that is an authentic Pokemon card from the early 2000s. It's been graded, and it's like a PSA 10, let's just say. And it's been valued at like $100,000. The replica Pokemon card is worth literally nothing. So what I'm trying to say is bags are a similar thing to Pokemon cards. People collect them. Hermes authenticate these bags based on the stamping, the craftsman's mark on the bag, and that's what gives them value. And there are people who can authenticate these bags, and there's many places you can go to buy these, pre-loved bags, because also they're all unique, they're handmade. Over the years, they change the look and the leathers, and there are a lot of passionate people out there who love to collect them, but they're driven by that. They're not driven by showing off and, showing, oh, I'm better than you because I have a fancy Birkin. It's more that they're passionate about the brand and they want to collect it. There's a lot of people out there like that, and that's, like, for me, for example, I think that's the reason why I collect a lot of things, even Pop Marts and, I don't know, some vases, Costa Boda, whatever, because I appreciate the design, I appreciate the idea, and I also see there's people who collect it, so I love finding it for good deals and, buying, selling it. I'm actually, a lot of people buy and sell collectibles and they can make money on it. I know a lot of people say handbags are not an investment, but a lot of collectibles are an investment, like Pokemon cards, for example. If you collected them many, many years ago, some Pokemon cards, if you get them graded, can be like literally $1 million. You can make a lot of money from collectibles. And I know a lot of people say you should invest in stocks and you should buy property, but you don't really know, guys. You'd be surprised if you become very knowledgeable about a specific topic or a specific thing and you really lean into a niche, you can become very successful and you can actually make a business out of it, which a lot of these collectors do. A lot of them obviously get swept up into it and spend more money and, kind of reinvest the money that they make from selling things back into the collection. That's how a lot of people build up there. That's how I build up my collection, from, having a passion for Louis Vuitton and then selling my bags and then like building up to Hermes bags. And, even some of the most recent bags I've bought which were all authentic. I sold, and then I actually made some money on some of them, and then I bought a Hermes Kelly, which you know, this is a real Kelly. I bought it from a reputable seller, and I had it authenticated. It's real, and because it is authentic, it has value, and it could be something that may or may not go up in value. But if this was a replica and I bought it from a replica factory, it literally does not have any value. I would be purely buying it just to show off, or just for the purpose of fashion, which is not always the reason why people collect bags. That some people collect bags because they just want to have them. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's literally like people who have Pokemon cards. Nobody is walking around with their Pokemon card binder and just like showing it to the world, like, look at my Charizard, you guys. Like, it's something for them. It's something that they love to discover, learn about, you know, catch them all. It's really similar with handbags. So that's something that I think people don't understand when it comes to the value of handbags. It really actually doesn't have to do with the materials. Sometimes it doesn't have to even do with where it's made. It's what people value it as, and particularly brands like Hermes, genuine Hermes bags, which I believe are made in France, will always have that kind of desirability there as long as people collect it. And let me tell you guys, there are many people who still collect Hermes bags, and many people who are willing to play a game in the store and drop lots of money, and even maybe sometimes receive not the best service. They're still willing to do it because they want to unlock these things. I mean, I saw it as well, you know, standing outside of the Pop Mart line, you know, a few months ago. It was absolute chaos. People trying to get these small little Labubus, people fighting, people screaming, because they're driven by the collecting of it. Like, people collect these things. It's something about when something becomes a collectible, the value can be endless. It can be endless money. It's crazy, but this is something that people don't really, it's actually quite obvious, but a lot of people don't realize this. And this is something that replicas cannot achieve, because they are a replica of the actual thing. There is no desirability, unless there is people who literally collect replicas, but the reason why replicas don't have value is because it's actually illegal to sell them, because it's stealing, you know, brands' ideas, particularly if they have the logo on it. So that's why there's not any motivation for me to buy a replica, even if it is, you know, for example, the guy on TikTok was saying he makes Hermes bags, the exact same quality as Hermes. Yeah, I am very much drawn to Hermes because of the quality, but I'm also drawn to the collectability aspect of it, and buying something that is posing as the Hermes bag has no value to me, because it literally it doesn't have value. Like, you can't sell it. So that, yeah, I do honestly collect bags for that aspect too, of, you know, this has value and this is cool. And, you know, if my whole Hermes collection you know, lost all value, well, I wouldn't probably be as precious with them. Maybe it's like Beanie Kids, right? You probably just, you know, would just have them in your wardrobe, and maybe you would donate them. I don't know, but I definitely wouldn't donate my bags. I think I would just wear them. I probably wouldn't be as careful with them probably if they plummeted in value. But I don't see that happening with Hermes, especially because what was claimed is not 100% true. Like, Hermes bags aren't really made in, well, they're not made in China. So yeah, but I think people just really love to see people who are obsessed with luxury in particular, yeah, they kind of want to put them down or bully them. And I've noticed that kind of shift in the luxury community, that it's, you know, should be looked down upon to collect luxury bags. But guys, with the way the world is going, honestly, a lot of these luxury bags, yes, I mean, I would say with Louis Vuitton in particular, a lot of them are plummeting in value purely because they produce way too many pieces, which I want to actually make a video about this maybe tomorrow, because there's a lot of stuff I have to explain with that. But I think when it comes to Hermes, it's still pretty exclusive. I mean, it's not easy to get a bag either. And I honestly don't think they overproduce. Now, I have heard they are opening up more factories and they're trying to train more people, which is great. But yeah, I think before people jump to conclusions and everything, you should really do some more research and maybe just not completely believe everything you see online as well. But Anyways, what do you think about this topic, guys? Because I know it's got a lot of people heated. But yeah, it hasn't really made me feel like I was an idiot for buying bags, to be honest. Anyways, thanks for watching my video, guys, and I'll talk to you really soon. Bye!